Hello there everybody, Space B back again with another episode of Sunless Sea. Steadily going around the waters of fallen London and building ourselves up. I think I mentioned that we actually have a townhouse, so if we stay in the townhouse it removes fear better, but it costs more. The evil giant sharks. Okay, let's just remind ourselves what we're doing. Okie dokie. Unfish artifacts. Salt lines. Stored attention. Ships in a hold. We will take him along. Solve some things. Right, let's see what we have here. Terror is okay. Fuel on that is okay. We're not even going to try and do any of that. Let us go. Check on the map where we want to go. Port Cecil is up that way. I think we want to go down and up. Well, there are nasty things around here because the Canate ships just fire on you. We can risk some light for a little while. Let's fire out the Z-Bat. Visage? Let's have a look. The crawling stars. Lookout shouts. Fire above the false stars on the cavern roof are shifting. A rare and ominous event. What now? Nope. 50% not going to risk it. So eyes on the deck. Flourishing of years. That looks like a... well, that looks like a port. It is a port. What's this? Don't want to fight him. Keep our lights off. Hope he doesn't spot us. Quickly dock. Visage. This is the port of Visage where faces may not be naked except one. A stone monument the size of a village church. Serenely gazing upwards. Flourishing of years. I'm so sorry about that. Put a Blemigan ashore. The Blemigan wraps its tendrils around your fingers, buries its fleshy dome in your palm. What does it want? Let's put the Blemigan ashore. An apt shelter. The Blemigan is oddly shy. It slides into the quay with obvious reluctance. It puts out a burst of speed to hide her in a damaged discarded mask. Resting in a refuse heap of fish heads and broken tackle, the bulging-eyed shell gives it confidence, if not grace. Departs at speed. Bouncing into a buoy waiting for repairs, recoiling off an unused engine. No idea what that's done, but we will see. So I'll get a port report. departing merchant gives you a confused account of crocodiles and honeycakes or something about ear blockage. To this you add your own impressions about the street layout close to the port and the types of commerce here, when the lights are especially bright as possible to make out the details of the profile of that great stone face. So we'll explore. Once you set foot on Visage, you may be here for a little while. All those who enter must play their parts. The sign is visible only after you've crossed the threshold. Oh dear. On the lower slopes, stone buildings, flat roofs, archways, and the architecture there lingers a memory of lotus and palm frond. The hill above is effaced, forever looking up at the ceiling of the Untersee. No one inhabits its cheeks or the hollows of its eyes. Checking at the customs house, one may not wander Visage at will. So we need a mask. A changing room. All visitors must pass one by one through a room guarded by a person in the mask of a moon moth. We will ask the significance of the mask. Moonmoth explains, each mask declares a different intention towards the denizens of Visage. It must be accompanied by suitable behaviour. The frog is for visitors who, though perhaps clumsy and unfamiliar with local etiquettes, have come in order to observe local ways and to make uncouth comments about them. The locust is for those who seek profit in Visage and would carry away as many goods as possible. You prompt about the bat. The moon moth hesitates. Bat is an ill-omened visitor, sent as a messenger or a spy. Bat always dies. So I think we'll avoid the bat. Because we don't want to be Batman. So we'll be a frog for now. Moon moth lifts the mask and places it over your head. The eye holes are large and they are fitted with spectacles. These improve your view of the environment, though you must look bull-eyed from the outside. There's also a mechanism attached to the mouthpiece which magnifies any sound you make, even your breathing. You start to thank the moon moth when it comes out as a booming croak. May you profit from your visit in knowledge, says moon moth. Its wings fold neatly over its back. An occurrence. Your visage, your mask quality is now 2 frog mask. Let's go exploring. Visit the Library of Parts, so called because all books are fragmentary, perhaps. Stoop at the lintel, enter the dark. A room of heavy stone, guarded by a golden statuette of a woman with outstretched arms. Scroll niches sorted to correspond to a variety of masks: the jackal and the lioness, the crocodile and dung beetle. A woman in the mask of a lotus blossom is standing at a lectern, reading in silence. Moonmoth stands to one side as your escort and tour guide. Ask about the purpose of this room. Study the scrolls in a bumbling way. Right, notes on the margin. No, we'll study in a bumbling way. Go in character. Hearts guarded. Taking the nearest you read it aloud. For guarding earns a loss of the heart. Moonmoth takes it for you, rolls it tightly and turns it to its niche. There are many ways of guarding against the loss of the heart, as there are different masks, it explains. In that same light and in different voice. Now have one time to visit expertise in parts. So we'll visit the library again. We already know that one. Ask about the purpose of this room. What sorts of parts are they anyway? Filed under M for masked. Moonmoth explains, people think it means something like Library of Fragments, but this is wrong. The parts in question are like parts in a play. This is where the denizens of the visage can come to learn how to perform their masks more accurately, more completely, with a truer spirit. We'll try this one. Moonmoth is startled. Apparently no other frog has gone so far as attempt to deface the library's holdings. It gets a pen away from you expostulating. Later you find it writing down a record of what you just did to be added to the library of parts. A recollection of what can be expected from frogs. Oh, we've gained another visage. Visit the flood court. The Moonmoth speaks as though you should already know what it is. High water. The flood court is a long stone room with 2 ranks of columns on each side. Currently the court is ankle deep in water. The water stains on the stones show that the flood has often reached higher, sometimes up to the height of your waist. In a raised niche, at the far end of the room sits a statue of a man with a head of a ram. It holds a jar from which water flows out onto the floor. I like that one. Show oafish enthusiasm for this wonderful indoor pool. Frogs like pools, right? Croak, you explain at how much you admire this room and its excellent pool. Your words are, as always, amplified into a croak. Other masks turn towards you, crocodile, lotus, blossom, crescent moon, but no one speaks. You have garnered a suitable degree of disdain. Moonmoth quietly applauds your performance of froghood. Okay, 1 visage, expertise in parts. Aware of visitor rules. Trade masks with the Moonmoth. It has been making subtle overtures for some time, you only now understand them. Just keen to go, it draws you aside into a closet in the customs house. Had enough of visage, it tells you frankly, here, you take my mask and pretend to be me, and I'll trade in a visitor mask and get on some departing ship, get my life back. Its face, now you see her face, is aging but unlined, a lifetime of never needing to use facial expression. An occurrence, your visage, your mask quality is now 4. Moth mask. An occurrence, your visage, expertise in past quality is now 4. Aware of moth roll. Ooh. We may be here a while, but this is interesting. Visit the house of the chief geometer. It is understood to be an honour. Let's do it. Lines in wet ground. Each morning, the man in the cobra mask draws lines in the mud flat with a pointed steel rod. This apportions to each inhabitant a small trapezoid area from which to harvest mushrooms and to scrape salt. No plot is ever preserved from one day to the next. This man is chief geometer, the keeper of directions, master of land measures and sea measures. Let's have a look at these again. So, bring a string of rats. Cobras like to eat rodents, surely. Bring a necklet of lapis beads. If they do not suit him, they may suit a wife of his. If they do not suit her, so he can use them for an offering. Bring a poem concerning snakes, copied on a new scroll. 800 lines on the scaly denizens of the snake pit. Bring a comb made of bone. Perhaps he grows hair beneath his mask, which covers his whole head. Bring flesh candles. Don't have any candles. Bring nothing, and do not go. It is necessary for him to offer, but incorrect for you to accept. He sits at home in a quake when he sends a message to preview for your non-attendance. It's also part of the dance. Visit the Temple of Apis. All the denizens of Visage go there sooner or later. The wounded god. In the centre of the temple is a black bull with a white diamond on its face. It is tied in place with heavy ropes. It is wounded from the thigh. From this wound it bleeds copiously without dying. Oh dear. The priests gather around the bull, capturing its blood in cups. I think we'll observe and make notes. The customs may be worth reporting later. The priest will be suspicious of anyone else who did this, but you, as Moonmoth, often have a need to narrate the rituals of Visage to newcomers. The explanations in the Library of Parts are not suitable for strangers, and therefore you're expected to compose your own. So he acts as a tour guide. I'm getting it now. So visit the side of the face, the stone cheek The Flourishing of Years is visited as a pilgrimage by the inhabitants of Visage, and if you're in good favour, you may go too. The proper time. You must of course wait until your work with this day's crop of frogs and locusts is complete. It would not be suitable to bring them along. From the hillside, the buildings become scarcer and they vanish entirely, leaving you looking at the bottom of a great chin. Push a visiting bat off the stone chin. The visitor is wearing all black and keeps reaching up to scratch under its bat mask. Not doing that one. Silently observe the attitude of the visiting lion. It is paying obeisance to the face. Ooh, don't know that yet. Service and worship. You contemplate the lion for some time. There is an arithmetic sequence to the court of bows that it performs to each feature. The eyes, the nose, each lip. It is hard to know whether the lion is meant to be her worshipper or a lover. Perhaps the two functions are not very distant. When at last the lion's bows are complete, it passes you with a slight snap of its mass jaws. It was rude of you to stand there watching. The moth watches visitors, does not watch citizens. To do so is to violate the strictures of both your roles. Aha. Let's go back to the stone face. Oh. So meditate on the meaning of the face. Systems give many meanings to the face: perpetual beauty, stasis, the idea of looking upwards into an unyielding darkness. But most of all they speak of the idea of someone above looking down. The face is not convenient to view from down here. It would look its best from the perspective of the ceiling of the Untersee, beyond reach. Gained one visage, expecting pass. An intriguing snippet. Enter the hollow of the ear. It is a place of still greater pageantry. This is a journey of several steps and may conclude your current visit. Let's do that. Proud nose. It is festival day. The great stone face has been illuminated from forehead to chin with blazing torches, so that the profile is visible from the side more clearly than you have ever seen it. Flourishing of years is awake, says the gentlest figure in the crocodile mask. Let's fall in line with the others. Help us to discover what lies within. Among your own. You go as though you're truly one of them. You carry nothing with you but your mask and your costume. May your heart be light as a feather, says a woman in a lotus blossom mask as you fall into line behind her. Empty-handed. Inside the hollow of the ear. The road you follow leads up through switchbacks along the side of the face and finally to the ear of Flourishing of Years, and into the cave that is her ear. The tunnel bends back on itself and all lights have now been extinguished. There is nothing to guide you but the hand of the person behind you on your back and the movement of the person in front of you. The one who walks beside you wears a bat mask. Fortunately the floor of the tunnel is very smooth and presents no stumbling blocks. Sound carries strangely in this place, however. Sometimes you cannot hear your own footsteps, sometimes a breath comes back to you audible from some place ahead in line. Continue, there is a secret in the dark. The footsteps of the people are steady and synchronized, and you go together. For how many years has this been done, and for how many will it be done in the future? Watch your step here, says Batmas to you in an under voice. Its accent is the accent of Wolfstack docks. The floor is about to get squishier, and sure enough it does. At last the tunnel opens out, and you and all the other congruents spread out in a cavernous space. A voice speaks in the darkness, ritual preparation. Here at the new year we gather under the one mask of Flourishing of Years. Her face is turned to the gods. Protected by her mask we may remove our own. Protected by her script we may speak outside our parts. Here and there is a sound of people fumbling with ties and strings. Your own face feels different with the mask off. Wait, listen, there are things here to learn, perhaps to your advantage. Receive the confidence of a stranger as holy. Those who come as spectators may remain as participants. Not much for blackmail. You move stealthily through the dark, hearing one knot of conversation then another. The secrets exchange do not offer much leverage. You can't see the owners of the secrets. Here and there you catch the smallest fragment of something that might serve you on a future occasion. Memory of a voyage, havering about the Carnelian coast, and muttering about the Admiralty. Ceremony end according to the proper rites. Last bell. At the end of the hour there comes a woman with a feather of shimmering silver which she tucks into your hand. Symbol of the innocent heart that will not be eaten by the jackal. Then a bell rings and the time of speech is over. You all begin to put your mask back on. It is possible that you cannot know for sure that in this cover someone exchanged the mask with somebody else. It is an orderly and perfect line that emerges again from the era of flourishing of years. If anyone watches from above, they must surely be satisfied. And I have a captivating treasure. End your performance and leave the island. When the other citizens are distracted, you find your way to the familiar customs house and rid yourself of mask and robe. There is satisfaction in laying aside a role well performed. I lost 10 terror for that. No, actually wasn't a bad trip. Shops, I presume. Nope. Captivation treasure. Convert it into an heirloom, and an heirloom can be sold. And that gives us a good bonus. Right, we want to escape from that corvette and go down around to the east and then up. Isle of Cats. That's along the way. I think we're away from the corvette now. There we go. Port Cavendish. Well, you know, there could be one just waiting outside for no reason. And dock. Oh dear, I really am sorry about that. Port Cavendish, a scatter of yellow-lit honey dens and brightly painted alehouses to the southeast rises a stone tower of Cavendish Abbey. Its ramparts hung with crimson and gold banners. There are azaleas from all across the Neath, hauling cargo, dicing and brawling good-naturedly on the docks. The air carries a sound of sea shanties sung with more enthusiasm than skill, the smell of roses edged with brimstone. A piratical welcome. Welcome to the Isle of Cats, the wide-eyed dockmaster says brightly. Would you like to bribe me not to write down the details of this nice official ledger? And let us... yeah, we'll do that. You hand over the coins and she tips you a sharp smile before waving you to the nearest alehouse. The entire process is straightforwardly corrupt and pleasingly efficient. Ooh, I am under suspicion. The Rose and Tiger. The alehouse's sign is a tiger painted the colour of rose petals. Someone's gone to great trouble and expense to gilt the creature's eyes. Look out over the port, feral and unseeing. A caged hive of lamp-nighter bees hangs from the ceiling like a chandelier. A few sailors give you hard-mouthed assessing looks, but most ignore your presence entirely. Significant tokens. The catties all wear a pair of amber stones threaded around their necks up into their collars. Clandestine doings, a whisper conversation, a clink of coins and exchange of goods. Religious observances. Is that the crimson veiled nun? But what sort of nun will be in a place like this? We can leave the alehouse. Let's ask about clandestine doings. The merest taste. You turn your head as though you are admiring one of the mouldering draperies hung from the wall. A vial flashes in the buyer's trembling hand. He uncorks it, pours a few drops of thick red liquid down his throat. The vial drops to the floor. When you look back up, he is gone. You blink and look around. Nobody else seems at least perturbed by the man. Disappeared from their midst. You pick up the fallen vial and examine the traces left inside. Sticky honey gleaming with redness entirely unlike blood. Check this significant tokens. Cat size, one of them says, for the Pirate King. As far as you can gather, the Pirate King's name is Leopold, and he controls all the trade on the island. Half the catties believes that he can take the form of a crimson tiger and leap into their dreams. The other half suspect more prosaically that he simply eats those who displease him. Dun dun dun! Religious observances. A mellifluous sister, of course, he responds, performing a complicated negotiation between veil, thick glove, and glass of mushroom wine. I ask what one of those is, and she snorts. I'm glaring at you underneath this blooming veil. You act appropriately cowed, and a mellifluous sister thaws a little. We are beekeepers and honey harvesters. The catties owe their prosperity to us, and the Pirate King too. She slurps a glass of the mushroom wine behind a veil, and the barkeep glides over to refill her glass, eyes respectfully downcast. Just a bit of story in that place. Excuse me. Lords of the land. The barkeep stops you before you reach the door and hands you a brooch set with 2 amber stones. You waits impassively until you pin it to your clothes. Everybody wears a cat size here, he tells you, moving aside to let you pass. Just a friendly reminder that the Pirate King is watching. It seems like no place then is truly lawless. So where should we go? I think we should compile a port report. I spent half a day observing the docks and noting an astonishing number of variety of ships. Was at a Carnatic trimarine nesting beside a vessel from the Anne Republic. Dockhands complain loudly that they have never been busier. The catties talk ceaselessly and carelessly about smuggling and piracy, but even the most hardened sailors lower their voices when they mention the King. They go even quieter when they talk about the Rose Garden. You make careful notes, perhaps the Admiralty will understand what they mean, even if you don't. It's both brothel and honey den, run by someone the catties refer to as the King's Claw. That's a honeyed tongue. Cavendish Abbey. The crimson-clad mellifluous sisters patrol its ramparts and tend the hives of lamplighter bees. Nope. I'm not even going to bother with that. Blemigan? No, we're not going to do that one. So this is honey and bees, so given the name of my channel, I think we'll leave that alone. So we'll check out Cavendish Abbey. The mellifluous sisters make their homes in the richly appointed stone tower of Cavendish Abbey. Their thick gloves and crimson mesh helmets are worn less for modesty and more for practicality. They tend the hives of the lamplighter bees all across the isle and make a religious observance of harvesting red honey for the Pirate King. Your actions will attract the Pirate King's notice. You need 5 Pirate King's notice to gain an offer from a patron. Let's see how much this costs. 5 feel too much. Okay, we've got about a minute left, so I think I will bring this episode to a close here. And when we come back, we'll carry on our exploration of Port Cavendish. So thanks for watching, everybody, and be good to each other. Bye bye.